The lunch rush had just begun when Emily Carter felt her hands start to tremble, not because of nerves but because the morning had already been too much. The café was packed, her section overflowing, and the ache in her feet reminded her of how little sleep she'd gotten after caring for her sick mother the night before. But still, she smiled. She always smiled. It was the only armor she had left. Then they walked in. 3 men in sharply pressed suits, Daniel, Mark, and Lucas, the kind who strutted through the world like it owed them something. Emily didn't recognize them, but everyone else did. People whispered and stared, giving them space like they were royalty. Table 4, her manager barked. And be careful. They're important. Emily grabbed her notepad and forced her best smile. Good afternoon, gentlemen. What can I get for? Daniel cut her off with a dismissive wave. Water. Room temperature. Lemon on the side. And try not to take forever. Mark leaned back, smirking. Yeah, sweetheart. We're kind of in a hurry. Emily swallowed the sting in her throat. She'd dealt with rude customers before. She could do it again. But this table wasn't like the others. They nitpicked everything. The water wasn't cold enough. The lemon slice wasn't big enough. The soup was too salty. The napkins too rough. The service too slow. And every complaint landed like a stone on her chest. Still, she kept going, even though her mother's hospital bill was due that evening and she was praying for tips just to keep the electricity on another month. The breaking point. When it came time for the bill, Emily approached with hope, though she tried not to show it. Daniel glanced at the check and snorted. You must be joking. Emily blinked. Is something wrong, sir? Yeah, Lucas said loudly, so several tables turned to look. You think we're paying for this service? Please. I did everything I could to accommodate your requests, Emily stammered. Mark leaned forward, voice dripping with mock sympathy. Sweetheart, we don't pay for disappointment. Emily felt heat crawl up her neck, embarrassment tightening her chest. Everyone was staring now. She tried to breathe, but her throat constricted. I'm sorry you feel that way, she whispered. Daniel stood, tossed a few crumpled bills, far less than the total, toward the table, and sneered, Here. For your trouble. Don't spend it all in one place. They laughed. Loudly. Emily felt something inside her crack. A voice from behind. Interesting. The voice was calm, but carried power like thunder. The men turned. Standing just a few feet away was Benjamin Hale, billionaire entrepreneur, owner of Hale Enterprises, and, most importantly, the quiet owner of this very café. He often came in without bodyguards, dressed simply, observing. Most employees never recognized him. But today, he had heard everything. Who are you? Daniel asked, posture stiffening. Benjamin smiled mildly. Someone who knows exactly how bills work. The room fell silent. He walked past the men and stood beside Emily. Are you okay? Emily blinked rapidly, forcing back tears. Yes, sir. I'm fine. You're not, he said gently. But you don't have to pretend. His attention shifted to the men. His eyes were no longer gentle. You 3 came into my establishment, disrespected my staff, disrupted my customers, and then attempted to leave without paying. That's theft. Lucas scoffed. We didn't realize this was your place. Ah, Benjamin replied, so if it belonged to someone else, disrespect would be acceptable. The crowd murmured. The men's arrogance faltered. We didn't mean to, Mark began. Let me be clear, Benjamin interrupted. Emily is one of the hardest working people here. She deserves respect. Everyone who works an honest job does. He lifted the bill from the table. You will pay this, in full. And you will add a tip. A generous one. Daniel clenched his jaw. Or what? Benjamin smiled, but it wasn't warm. Or I'll ensure every business you're involved with knows exactly what kind of men you are. My reach is long, longer than your pride can withstand. Silence. Then, slowly, the men pulled out their wallets. This time, they paid. And they tipped, a lot. But Benjamin wasn't finished. A conversation that changed everything. After the men left in humiliated silence, Benjamin turned back to Emily. Walk with me, he said softly. They stepped into his office in the back, a quiet room filled with sunlight and plants. You handled yourself with grace, he said. But I noticed something else, your exhaustion. Tell me honestly, are you okay? Emily hesitated. She wanted to be strong. She wanted to pretend she had everything under control. But she was tired of pretending. My mom is sick, she whispered. I'm the only one taking care of her. The bills, I'm doing my best, but it's not enough. Benjamin listened, really listened. Do you want to keep working here? He asked. Yes, she nodded quickly. I love this place. I just wish I could keep up. Benjamin's expression softened. You already do more than anyone I know. So here's what we'll do. I'm raising your hourly pay. Effective today. Emily gasped. Sir, Benjamin, I can't accept that. You can, he insisted. Because you've earned it. And because good people deserve someone on their side. Her eyes filled with tears she couldn't hold back this time. And, one more thing, he said. He handed her an envelope. Inside was a check, enough to cover her mother's bill and the next 3 months of expenses. Emily covered her mouth, trembling. Why would you do this for me? Benjamin smiled. Because the world needs kindness. And because today, those men showed what happens when we forget that everyone is fighting battles we cannot see. Emily whispered, thank you. No, Benjamin said softly, thank you. For reminding everyone here what resilience looks like. The message that lasted. Word spread quickly. Not about the billionaire. Not about the rich men. But about the waitress who stood tall, stayed kind, and inspired an entire cafe to treat others with more compassion. Emily didn't just get a raise. She got her hope back. And every customer who walked into that cafe afterwards felt the difference, not in the food, or the decor, but in the warmth Emily carried, even on the hardest days. Because sometimes, the smallest kindness grows into something that touches an entire community. And sometimes, the people who seem unnoticed are the ones who change everything.